Hello everyone, welcome to the second video on Agentic AI Learning Series. In the first video, we have completed step 1, 2 and 3. There we have set up an environment in VS Code, generated OpenAI API token and added that to .env file. In the step 2, we have created a very simple Agentic AI code using runner.run. It is a method available in OpenAI Agents SDK. In step 3, we have created a very simple coroutine. Coroutine is a special type of function which can run asynchronously using await. And we did a comparison between the normal function and coroutine. In this video, we'll see how to enable async in OpenAI Responses API. There we'll create a coroutine using async and we'll execute it using await. After that, we'll see how to use async OpenAI. Async OpenAI by default allows to perform asynchronous request to API. Now we'll get into the demo. Now I'll add an OpenAI example. In this example, we'll be using the Responses API. So we'll go to the documentation of Responses API. So this is OpenAI's most advanced interface for generating model responses. Previously, we had this chat completion method, but now OpenAI is suggesting to use Responses API. And if you see the comparison of this, let me open the documentation. So this is having more features. The Responses API is having more features than chat completions. And if you compare the code, if you're using chat completions, the older method, so you need to pass the data in this format, like model messages and all. Now we can just directly give it in the input. Later, I'll be creating some detailed videos on all these topics. Now in this case, let me just add the code. So first we are importing all this. So here we are importing OpenAI class. I'll open this. Then we have even async OpenAI class. If you see here, OpenAI and async OpenAI. And this will be running asynchronously. And this is also having the similar methods and attributes. So let me just go to our code here. First, we'll add code for validating our API key. I'll add the code for that. This definition is optional. By default, it is going to get the OpenAI API key. But here, the reason why I am adding is if you haven't set the OpenAI API key, this will be throwing an error. Let me just try running this. Now it is saying that OpenAI API key is set. Now, if we haven't set an OpenAI API key, so we'll be getting an error and it'll even exit from the further execution. Then I'll create a client and it is going to be instance of OpenAI class. Then I'll define a function LLM call. Then we'll pass the prompt here, prompt, and the format is going to be string. Then we'll do a print. Then response equal to client dot responses dot create. Under that, we'll give model equal to GPT hyphen 5 nano. Then in the input, the prompt, the variable which we are going to pass. Okay, now we have a very simple function here. To the function, we can pass the prompt. Then finally, return is going to send the response, and let us just put 2 queries to LLM. I'll ask, tell me a joke about cat. What is the capital of France? So we'll try running this. So it is saying that OpenAI API key is not set. Let me run it again. So now it is calling LLM for the first question. This is the answer for the first question, and this is the answer for the second question. But these are not happening concurrently. It is waiting for this to complete first and then running this. Now we'll try to implement async for this. The initial codes are going to be same. And here we are going to add even the time as well, so that we can understand when it is getting triggered. Then for our understanding, I'm giving the code start time and end time. Here I'm creating a coroutine called call LLM async, and I'm passing the prompt. I'll be capturing start time from here. Then this is a simple print. It is going to print the current time and the prompt details. Then this will be using for calling the LLM. I'll change the model to GPT-5 Nano. Then it will be calculating the end time, and we'll try to find out how long it took for one particular query. These are just some print statements. So each query, how long it took, we'll get to know that. The main line of code in this particular coroutine is this, to thread. So this will asynchronously run function in a separate thread. Actually, this particular function, the create function, it is not an async function, coroutine. So if you want to run it asynchronously, you can use async io.toThread. So each call will run asynchronously and create separate thread for it. So you need to understand this concept. So here we are passing this and then passing the model and input. Now, if you want to run multiple queries parallelly, previously we have seen async io.gather. We can run that and get the response. So we are passing multiple queries. Tell me a joke about cats, then fun fact about space, capital of France, and what is gravity. So some of these queries are going to take time. This is going to take time. These questions it can answer quickly. So let us try running this. And if you see here, all these calls happen parallelly. See, all these four prompts are triggered, and then we are getting answers one by one. This particular question took 1.5 seconds, and this is the answer. So all these are coming from this print statement, then another one. Cat's jog took 4.1 second, and this one took 6 seconds. This took 10 seconds. But all these calls happen parallelly. And if you see, overall time taken will be 10.3 seconds, because the longest response took 10 seconds. So in this way, you can implement async and await. Now, if you want to add a timeout, imagine some of these calls are taking longer than maybe 30 seconds. If you want to skip that. For that, we can use async io.wait for. So let us add that. I'll comment this. And remember that when you are moving this to Python file, you need to put this in a separate function, async io.wait for. Then within that, we can call async io.gather. We are comparing all this. Then finally, we need to add a timeout. You can see here for this async io.wait for, you can add a timeout. Timeout equal to, I'll give maybe 5 seconds. Let us try running this. But now what will happen is, if any call fails, the entire execution will fail. The further execution won't happen. And there are some advanced options, like for individual queries also we can give separate timeouts, and then we can create a separate coroutine, and for that we can pass that custom timeout value as an argument and handle that. But here I'm going to do a very simple use case. We'll try to handle this error, handle timeout exception. Let me copy paste this code. Put it here. Now here we need to put an exception. We'll put a try. Here I'll give except. It is going to be async io dot cancel error. I'll delete this. Then for result also I'll add a try. Under this I'll add an exception. Async io dot timeout error. Then we'll add a print statement here. You can even add the final code execution and total time taken print statement here. You can add that even in the top also. So you can see here we were getting timeout error earlier, cancelled error and timeout error. So two errors we were getting. So we have handled that. Now we'll add couple of more questions. Capital of India. And one more call I'll give here. What is, it might take time to explain all these concepts. Okay, let us try running this. Now if you see, all these calls started parallelly. Yeah, first we got the output for this. It took 3 seconds. Then for this also we got the answer. And you can see here a couple of questions got cancelled because the timeout happened here. It is not able to respond within 5 seconds. Okay, we can see here 3 questions got cancelled. We can even do some of the advanced error handling and advanced features like timeout for individual questions by creating separate coroutine and handling that separately within the timeout value. If you're interested, please let me know. I can create some videos on that as well. Now we'll see how to use async OpenAI class. So I'll just create a markdown and code here. And I'll copy paste the code here. And here, if you notice, we are not importing OpenAI class. We are importing async OpenAI class. And we are creating an instance of that async OpenAI class and directly using this. Previously, if you remember, we were using two threads. If you notice, this create was part of sync API resources and it is a sync call. And if we go to our async create, let me open that. So this is a coroutine and it is part of async response. And when we are using a coroutine, we can just directly use await, then call the function and pass the arguments and run it. And let me just comment this and run it. Now here what happens is this is going to create a separate event loop. Let me run it and show you. In this execution, we got the output. If you don't get the output and if you get an error saying that another event loop is running, you just need to uncomment this and run it. So it will be creating a nested event loop. I hope now you have a very clear understanding on async and await. So I'll just quickly summarize this. So first we have created an environment, cloned a repo and generated an API token and installed all the required packages. Then we have seen a very simple agentic AI code, the network expert agent, and we haven't used any guardrails or anything. We have handled everything in the prompt. Here we have given an instruction saying that other than networking, if you get any questions, you say that you can only answer questions about computer networking, but we can handle all these using guardrails. We'll see all those later. For example, I'll try to give this question here. So it is saying that I can only answer questions about computer networking. But even this can fail at times. It is better to use guardrail in this scenario. Then we have created a very simple Python function and we've seen how this is blocking another function to get executed, and then we have converted that into Asyncio, used Asyncio.sleep, and we parallelly executed all this. You can see here the timestamps. All these three are getting executed and the output list is going to give it in an order we have given here. Then we have seen an OpenAI example. It is a very simple OpenAI code which uses the response API. We have seen a comparison of response API and chat completion API. Then we have implemented async and await for this, and we have seen how to parallelly execute all these functions. You can see everything was getting executed parallelly. Then we handled the timeout exception and we used wait for handling the timeout. Here we have used async OpenAI class for running the task. I hope this video was helpful for you to understand what is async and await. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.